You are now watching the Sidelines at the Pride Rock podcast.
Welcome everyone to episode 2 of the
Sidelines at Pride Rock podcast.
My name is Jonah.
And I'm Derek, and thank you for tuning in once again. This is the second episode, and we've averaged some pretty good performance for the very first episode.
I'm so excited for this. I don't know why.
I mean, thank you everyone for the 5-star reviews. We already have 2 and 7 average viewers onto our platforms. It's pretty cool just seeing how quickly it grew. And thank you everyone on Instagram for liking, following, and just sharing our progress. And today we have just a pretty general episode. We're going to be talking about this week at Pitman, and let's discuss about some of the sports that's happened at Pitman and just kind of see how we did this week.
I'm pulling up the thing, sorry. Here we go. Okay, I'm ready to go.
All right.
All right, let's start off with big week. Teams playing Turlock High School this whole week, all sports. We could start with, I feel like we can start with boys basketball. Let's get into what happened. You see a really unfortunate loss against Turlock.
That is the first loss in league, and it looks kind of unpredictable. Well, not unpredictable, but it's kind of surprising to see that Enoch High School Modesto is first place. They're undefeated in league right now, and it seems like it's going to be a tough few games for this Pitman this season to secure that CCAL.
Since Pitman lost, I feel like their CCAL chances are not. I'm not saying it's impossible whatsoever. I think it's actually still very high, but it's more slim, and because of that loss, their kind of poll rankings in the CCAL dropped significantly. Because that was really costly. They should. They need to bounce back on that loss for sure in these coming up games.
Yeah, with Enoch's, doing really well this season. Jonah, can you run up some stats real quickly for Enoch's as I'm talking about this? Enoch's this season has been very surprising. Turlock also once again surprising towards this game. Turlock not doing as well as Pitman did this season for in league, but showed out some higher consistency on their game against Turlock with a 56-47 victory over Pitman at Turlock High. What can you say about some stuff about that game?
Honestly, based on what we saw, very low shooting percentages from Pitman High School. Turlock was way more consistent with their shooting, and it just seemed like a really off game for Pitman. I do not believe that they were on the top of their the class with their shooting or their just playmaking, I believe.
Yeah, stats were 3 for 20 at the 3-point line. So,
and then you can kind of see a new light for the Bulldogs. Possibly, is that a motivation kicker? That huge win, is that like a motivation push for going into like the second half of the season for Turlock?
So about Enoch's, with their undefeated season, looks like on the 24th, which is today as the day that we're recording.
They are going to be playing Pitman.
Yeah, so this is going to be deciding some stuff about Enoch's and see if they can come through.
Yeah, for sure. You see on here they beat Turlock 66-63, which was a very close game.
On an exhibition game.
Yeah. On the 17th of January, they beat Modesto 81-39.
I think I was there for that game. That was pretty fun.
On the 18th, they lost to North High School 51-45.
Oh no, I wasn't there. We're looking at Enoch's. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's just that Pitman did a similar game to that.
Yeah. And on the 22nd, Enoch's played at Gregory, beating them 66-51.
Yeah, so Enoch's coming up. Probably one of the better teams in CCAL. Probably Pitman's highest contender for the CCAL championship spot.
Yeah, with a really good overall record too of 13-6, coming off of another win against Gregory, as I just said. 259th in California, which isn't too bad, I don't think.
No, not at all. Pitman's ranked 152, by the way, which is which is something to kind of consider coming up to these games. Is Pitman's rank truly there, or is it just because they've showed out more against other teams, especially because in this last 3 games, Pitman played against Terra Linda of San Rafael and beat them 58-49, which they're also pretty good in the Bay Area. Just genuinely, they've been playing more games. They got invited to the Nike tournament earlier on in the preseason.
I believe they won out.
Yeah.
So let's really quick. I'm gonna break down the last 3 games for Pitman.
Yeah.
Boys basketball. Versus Downey and Modesto at Pitman, they won 56-35. Versus Terra Linda, which is what you just mentioned, they won 58-49. Out of league, they worked very well against the Bay Area team, as you've said.
Yeah.
And then, as we just mentioned as well, at Turlock, lost 56-47. And so we did cover. I feel like that's pretty much it for this week for boys basketball.
Pretty much, yeah.
They need to probably work on their playmaking, and I feel like maybe communication was another good factor of why they lost.
I just think that it was genuinely just an off day for them. So if they can get past that and just come into the game with some more motivation, not necessarily saying that they don't have any, but just coming into that game with that aggression that they need to beat through Enox, try to knock down Enox a few, get them off of that undefeated status within league, and just try to build their way back up to being first.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we talked about boys basketball. Let's move on to girls basketball.
Girls basketball first in league.
Undefeated in league.
Yes.
Can they ride this high horse for the rest of the season? I feel like they can. They can push on through. They're ranked 600 even on the states as of today of the recording. The last 3 games, they played at Modesto and won 32-28. They played at Downey and won 39-27. And then they played Turlock at Pitman, 49-41 win.
Yeah, that game.
You want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, that game was long. That game lasted about 2 hours, and both teams pretty much had 20 fouls just counted throughout the whole game. Over 20 fouls, actually. It was slow, aggressive, and it was kind of like a game of where what team is gonna kill the clock the most, because Pitman was already up, but Turlock was itching closer. But it just kept fouling each other. It was that crosstown rivalry coming through. Very, very aggressive game.
Mm-hmm. I see here that Pitman showed really good shot consistency. I was not there, but I know that you were there.
Yes.
How did you see the shots?
Were they pretty
good? Were they?
Yeah, compared to average, the 3-point shooting was way higher, more aggressiveness towards the net, towards that aggressive drive, and just genuinely the team looked like they had better passing. Turlock had a taller, more athletic-looking team, but Pitman came out on top with more of that communication and team skill.
For sure. You see girls basketball, they're kind of cruising through league. They're cruising through the season. I feel like they're on their way to make a really good CCAL run, possibly two-peat for the CCAL championship.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on from the basketball, I feel like aspect, we can talk about a little bit of boys soccer. Really, really good this year.
Yeah, we kind of knew that coming into this season, but it's nice seeing it play out as we expected. Ranked number 68 in state and 219 in national rankings, and it seems like our league's actually pretty good for soccer, just in general. 3rd in league, but we're still ranked 68 in state.
I just don't think they just didn't get past the Grigori hump.
Yeah.
It's kind of blocking their path to a CCAL title right now.
It seems like Grigori's kind of Pitman's greatest nightmare when it comes to these winter sports.
Yeah. But obviously, there's plenty of time to recover from their 2-1-1 CCAL record, as they're only about a little past halfway through the season.
Yeah,
definitely make a bounce back.
Last 3 games at Grigori lost 2-1. Downey at Pitman tied that game 1-1, and then beat Modesto away 9-1.
Insane score. Soccer is insane.
Yeah.
Girls soccer. Moving on to the girls soccer aspect of it. They beat Modesto High School 10-2.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of unheard of numbers for soccer.
Especially just because, I don't know, it's crazy. Pitman seems like they like to blast Modesto's programs just this season. And just these last 3 games, we have an unreported score against Downey, but we'll update that as it gets published out on our Instagram. But it does seem like Grigori is Pitman's nightmare again with a loss of 4-0. Grigori at Pitman.
And we covered Modesto. I think we sent it to you. Currently, they're ranked 1-1-1 in league, so that is good for a 4th place as of right now. But obviously, like I said with boys soccer, we're only halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way through. They can definitely make a bounce back. Currently ranked 159th in the state, which is really, really good.
Yeah, they're still, like, our programs here, still nationally and state ranked. So
396 nationally, which is again really good. Let's kind of shift the tides again. We see wrestling. Mason Ontiveros and Carter committed to the University of Oklahoma to play Division I wrestling.
Yeah,
which is pretty crazy.
It is crazy.
They're definitely like dominating CCal play, absolutely blowing these wrestling programs out of the water by multiple scores. We do not have stats for any of like the scores or anything like that, unfortunately, because we get our sources from public.
We get our stuff from Max Preps, but they haven't been reporting through there. But we get most of our information. If we can't go through there, we go through their Instagrams, and it looks like it's
unbelievable. What
yeah.
they're doing right now. They're ranked 9th in the nation, or in the state of California for their wrestling program. Extremely strong JV team. And next, like the years to come, they're not gonna have any problems whatsoever.
Especially not. I think one thing that contributes towards that is the Vasky Bros wrestling program. Just watching these athletes up as they grow up, and they just establish that system of basically once you come into high school, it's no big deal playing, and it just prepares you for that further level.
For sure. Upcoming games for the Pitman Pride coming up. So for varsity boys basketball, they're away versus Downey on the 31st of January. They're away versus Modesto on the 5th of February. They're at home versus Enox on the 7th.
Yeah, so that'll be a very good game. That Enox versus Pitman
definitely is a CCal decider.
Yeah, 100%. And then also for girls basketball, home versus Downey. That's on the 30th. Home versus Modesto on the 4th, and home versus Enox. What day is that again? And then a home versus Enox on the 6th. That would be a home game. And yeah, just genuinely these both programs, this is something to watch, see as they get towards their middle, towards the end of their season a little more. And every game counts in this season. Only 10 games within the league, and one win or one loss can really mean anything for a program.
Yeah, seriously. You see boys soccer, they're going to be away versus Downey on the 30th, home versus Modesto on the 4th, away versus Turlock on the 6th, so that's actually just going to be an in-town clash. Girls soccer, you have home versus Downey on the 30th, away versus Modesto on the 4th, home versus Turlock on the 6th, so again, another clash. And yeah, I feel like those are all the sports wrapped up this week.
Yeah, those are the ones. If there's any further stuff, I would recommend going through Instagram to make sure that these teams, because these teams, every program at Pitman heavily advertises their stuff onto Instagram. So check out on their Instagram, and just especially for wrestling, because I'm not sure about the events there, but it would be great if there's that support and that show up from the Pitman fans. We would definitely, Jonah and I would definitely love to see people out in the stands and rooting for Pitman and give that energy, especially for these games coming up where they're deciding that first place spot.
Exactly. And of course, all ticket sales promote Pitman Athletics and the Boosters Club. They do an amazing job. Seriously, you should help support Pitman.
100%, yeah.
Athletics. Do y'all know the Go fan only.
Yeah. That's just the new thing. January 1st is GoFan only. So
Online payments.
yeah, which isn't like something to where you buy your ticket a day ahead. You can buy it at the gate. It's just that everything's through card now. So just
Cashless. Everything is cashless.
yeah, just be aware about that. But ticket sales go through GoFan, and we would really want to see some more energy out in those stands, and everyone show up, root on the Pride, and let's see how far we can ride this ride. And that's a great rhyme right there.
Oh yeah. We're gonna quote that. No, I'm kidding.
No, we're not.
But
I thought about that on the spot too heavily for that to be cut.
yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in for episode 2 of Sidelines at Pride Rock. My name is Jonah.
And I'm Derek, and thank you for tuning in for the second episode. Stay tuned, because next Wednesday we have
Be a
some
banger.
we have some episodes lined up, and we'll be announcing them onto our Instagram. Make sure to check us out on Instagram at Pride Rock Sports, and check up to see if there's any delays, anything. And you can also reach out to us if you request any more information. We are gladly to help you.
We're very heavy on feedback. We need feedback for everything. So
And
we'll
if-
definitely seriously consider anything you guys say.
Yeah, advertisements. If you ever want anything from within the Pitman programs, let us know, and we will publicly do it. We will send it out there. Also,
Be sure to drop a follow, Spotify, iHeartRadio.
yeah, that's new.
Oh, new YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, which would be at Pride Rock Sports again. Just genuinely, we spread out our programs this year, just with iHeartRadio, Spotify podcasts, and YouTube. Those are the 3 I think we're going to be running with this podcast. Just because the other one's a little bit tricky to get started, but I think these 3 are the best right now. So just reach us out on there and drop a follow, support us, and stay tuned. We'll see you out there at the games, and
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So
Yeah.
we'll see you guys later. Enjoy your week.
have a good one. See you next episode. Thank you for watching the Sidelines at the Pride Rock. This podcast is managed by Ethan Souza, Jonah Muchler, and Derek Orth. It is shot and filmed at John H. Pitman High School. This broadcast is brought to you by John H. Pitman High School, Pitman Digital Media Program, and the Pitman Pride students. This program is meant for educational and informational purposes only, and only share unbiased, truthful content.